Woke up, checked the charts, felt like a king. Portfolio screaming, my phone doesn't ring. Buy the dip, they said, but the floor disappeared. Now I'm stuck in a trade that could last me a year. Every candle's a lie, every wick is a joke. I leverage too hard, now I'm breathing in smoke. The market's my dealer, I'm hooked on the pain. They give it, they take it, then laughs in my name. I catch the knife, I call it fate. I bet the farm, they liquidate. My broker laughs, my screen turns red. My wife just packed her bags instead. I hedge my risk, it breaks my knees. I short the top, it rips with ease. I catch the knife, I call it fate. I bet the farm, they liquidate. My faith in a Twitter thread, 100x long, now my cash is dead. My stop loss didn't set one, bro. Now I live in my car with a monitor glow. Every candle's a lie, every wick is a joke. I leverage too hard, now I'm breathing in smoke. The algo's a demon, it hunts where I trade. I click on the bid and my soul gets erased. I catch the knife, I call it fate. I bet the farm, they liquidate. My broker laughs, my screen turns red. My wife just packed her bags instead. I hedge my risk, it breaks my knees. I short the top, it rips with ease. I catch the knife, I call it fate. I bet the farm, they liquidate. Expired, my puts got burned. Took out a loan, now my lesson is learned. I paper hand once, it triples in price. I diamond hand hard, it flatlines. Nice. So I scout for scraps, I dream of gains, but the market just laughs while I go insane. One more play, just one more round, and if I lose all, I'll double down.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where right away in chat, I feel attacked, LMAO, for the song. You're liquidating your account and you're worried if your girlfriend's coming back. Hey, we've all been there, brother. We've all been there. Happy belated Father's Day to all the daddies in the audience. I myself just celebrated my first Father's Day, and it was awesome. I got to go to the zoo, and I saw a lot of animals, including a snow leopard, and I have to be honest with you. It is making a really, really strong argument for potentially becoming my favorite big cat, especially within the Asian area. So something for me to consider. I really, really need to think if that's where I want to go in my life. I used to be a tiger guy. Then I pivoted to a cheetah guy. And now I might need to be making a pivot from the cheetah to the snow leopard, because that thing was freaking awesome. So happy Father's Day to all of you. I hope you got to break out those white New Balance sneakers, maybe give your lawn a fresh cut, crack a cold one, fire up the barbecue, and have a great, great summer weekend. And that leads us to today. Obviously, we've been away from each other for a little bit. It was an extended weekend. The market was closed on Friday in observation of Juneteenth. We have a full week this week and then another shortened week next week. So this week, Monday to Friday, we're going to be here. We're going to be rocking it. And I do need to talk a little bit about the market. But the next week, the market will be closed on Friday because of Independence Day. So the market is going to be closed on Friday, July 3rd in observation of July 4th. So just want to call that out. We have some other things to chat about. But before we get to all of that, I do want to give you a very quick breakdown of what in the world's going on in the market. And for some reason, you guys can't see it. Can you see it now? You can see it now. Perfect. So the SPY, if you look in the overnight session when the market opened up last night, it was actually kind of brutal. We had a dip at 6 p.m. last night, and it got Yeah, about 8 p.m. And then ever since then, we've been rippity skippity doodah. So I know right here you could see a little bit of a dip, but that's at 4 a.m. So before this, it was actually considerably worse. So we're making a very strong push all the way up to the high of the session on Thursday of last week. And in fact, the Qs are above it, a little bit of a baby downside gap fill. I do want to talk a little bit about individual equities, SPSX, SPCX, SpaceX, falling from that 200 plus mark down to 176. Not so good for my calls. But Micron, the one I did have calls on, and I was like, wow, I'm up a lot. I should probably realize some of these gains is continuing to go and go and go. So that's just a few of the big movers. There's a lot of big movers. So we're going to do that right at market open. But I just want to let you know for today, there's no major scheduled events. Obviously, we have a little bit throughout the week. I would say Thursday is the most exciting day. We have PCE, we have GDP, we have durable goods. There's some manufacturing numbers tomorrow, so that's going to be a little bit of volatility in the opening session, but nothing really on the docket today. Couple announcements on Tuesday, more announcements on Thursday, and then a few announcements on Friday, consumer sentiment. And then that's going to basically be wrapping up the last full trading week in the month of June. So just want to get you guys ready for that. Of course, we're going to be looking at options flow. We're going to be looking at major positioning. But with that all in mind, let's get ready because they are about to let all of us degens in about 10 seconds. Obviously, best of luck to all. Keep to your trading strategy. Keep to your proper sizing. Do what you know you should be doing. And if you don't feel like doing that, well, best of luck.
Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun.
All right, we are going, we are moving, we are grooving. The SPY Q's out of the gate, getting a nice little bit of a pump. Micron, probably a little bit of profit taking. SPCX looking a little bit weak. In fact, it's actually the only red thing I'm currently seeing on my watch list. So I don't want to rush anything out of the gate here. Actually, I should be looking at some of my positions. I have SPCX calls for lulls. I have NVIDIA calls. I have Marvel calls. I have INTC calls. I have HUT calls. I sold my MU calls, which makes me feel a little bit stupid. Currently up on Intel. I'm up on HUT. I'm up on NVIDIA. I am down on SPY. I'm down on MRVL. And I'm very much down on SpaceX. So I would love for the overall market to really get going today. And I think I also have Q calls. You know how stupid I am? You guys want to see an example? Guess who got out of their MU calls? This guy. Guess who got out of their TSM calls? This guy. I'm getting out of my calls right before giant gap ups to brand new all-time highs. So basically, that's a roundabout way of me saying welcome back to a show where you get to see the worst trader in the world do his thing and continually just fumble the ball. That's what we might as well just, I don't know, who has the record in the NFL for the most fumbles ever? Because that's what we should rename this show to. Honestly, it's just right there. I'm on the 1 yard line and I fumble it. We should ask ChatGPT this. I need to know what professional football player has fumbled the ball the most time within 5 yards in the red zone. Like just the final, like right at the last second. That's what we should rename this show because I got right out of TSM. Makes a huge move. I got out of Micron, makes a huge move. And instead, I put my money in stocks that are about to go the opposite way, like SpaceX, and I get completely destroyed on that. So that's where I'm at in my life, folks. That's 100% where I'm at. I'm going to be doing my best and not trading out of the gate. As many of you have known, ever since I've been like attempting to come back, and I did come back a little bit early from my paternity leave, I've been on a horrible run. I don't know if it's because my brain is nothing more than mashed potatoes. I don't know if my heart's fully in it, but whatever it is, I can tell you folks that I've been losing a lot of money, not only in options, but also in these evals for these prop accounts. So I'm hoping that maybe this is the week that my brain starts to settle and I kind of get back into the groove of everything, but let's find out. Let's find out. So as the market is opening, I just want to let you know generically things are leaning bullish. The 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute on the S&P 500 momentum is bullish and the structure is bullish. Looking at the NASDAQ, the 1 minute was bullish. It's a little questionable. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute is now all bullish and structure is also bullish. When I say structure, that's just higher highs and higher lows. There's 4 types of structure: higher highs, higher lows, bullish; lower highs, lower lows, bearish; lower highs and higher lows, consolidation, which is more of a patience play; and then the worst of the 4 options is going to be when you have higher highs and lower lows. And that's like a microphone expansion pattern that you just don't know who's in control. So that's why I'm saying that one is the worst. So those are your 4 options. So for me, I like to look at what is the overall momentum, something like EMA's generic trend. Then we're going to look at structure to see what's going on there. And then obviously we can, at least on this show, we dive into some of the deeper forms of analysis, such as what in the world is happening with options. And I could tell you this morning, SPY had a little bit of a pop, giving some back, so not much overall movement quite yet on the day. Mag 7 was flat, started to get sold off about 3 minutes into the day. Nasdaq slightly trending down, and then the Russell popping up, getting a flow alert, and now going back to flat. For those of you curious about individual equities, I'd want to remind you this is only 3 to 4 minutes into the day, but AMD is trending down. Apple is flat. Avago is straight down. Microsoft is trending down. Meta is straight down. Netflix is straight down. Nvidia is going up. Palantir is trending down. Tesla is trending up. Oracle flat. Google trending down. And then SPCX is trending down. Brett Favre has the most fumbles and interceptions. Well, it sounds like that's what we should call our show, because I am performing at the same level of Brett Favre, except I don't think I have committed financial fraud on the level that he has. Didn't he like defraud an entire state or something like that? He got caught up. He got embroiled in some sort of really weird thing where he was buddies with like the governor or the senator, and they were redirecting state funds into like a fraudulent like charity he set up or something like that. So maybe what the fuck? Maybe he's not the best example for us. Maybe not the best one. He was great. Maybe great as a football player, but kind of questionable as a human being. What happened to SMCI? I don't know. What did happen to SMCI? It looks like it's going up. It's up 10%. Well, right now, it's probably not specific to SMCI. Look what's happening in one subsector of the AI trade. So the overall AI trade, NVIDIA is trending up. And then you have Avago. It did hit, but taking a little bit of hit. Where's AMD? Trending up. But then if you look at some of these upstream plays, TSM gapping up to a new all-time high. Intel gapping up to a new all-time high. Marvel hit an all-time high on Friday. So what's going on? I mean, even HUT is now a data center play not far away from its all-time high. So it's not specific to SMCI. What it is it's the semiconductor world. Look at SMH. SMH is the ETF, the Van X Semiconductor ETF. This is the basket of stocks that are tracking. It's probably the closest ETF tracking the AI trade. It's just gapped up to a new all-time high. So it's this entire subsector is ripping, which is nice because it's pretty heavily weighted in the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq is not far away from its all-time high. And then, of course, some of the bigger boys, such as NVIDIA, are pretty heavily weighted in the SPY. So maybe that'll help us get going to the upside here. And actually, I should set a breakout. If SPY can break above 752, just from a daily perspective. So right now we have this engulfing bar, as in the next bars have been inside and inside. We haven't really broken quite yet. So a push above 752, the high from Wednesday of last week, would be pretty exciting. If you're looking for the SPX equivalent, that is roughly 7532. So we're about 13 points below that right now. The Qs have already gotten their break. And in fact, I have an alert. We might be seeing a new all-time high today for the Nasdaq. That is 748.65. We're at 743. Like, we could very much see a new all-time high today in the tech sector. Small cap already saw a new all-time high. Question for all of you: how many of you are playing the Russell 2000 right now, small cap stocks? Because literally gapping up and pushing to new all-time highs, probably looking for 300 today. A big move in the small cap world. Probably has somewhat to do with the new Fed and some of the hawkish commentary, but we can get into that a little bit later. Just more so for the morning to get everyone going. The Russell pushing to new all-time highs. Bitcoin looking weak overall. Recently put in a higher low, so maybe it's coming back up to 67. That's why I have an alert there. I want to see the break of this previous high, and then I want to see a test of the 50 EMA at 69,000. SpaceX will only have 6 trading days, or I should say 5 and a portion, but right now what goes up must come down. Remember, fundamentally it is very overvalued, but fundamentals are more for long-term investing, not so much short-term trading. We already talked about NVIDIA, higher low, saving itself at the 50 EMA, getting a nice push. Marvel, this has been a nonstop rocket. It just keeps going. Intel, I actually have a piece of Intel just because I saw Trump talking about it again, and that makes it like one of the easiest plays. But I announced this in the trading Discord on Friday, already up a nice 35% there, which means I'm up about 3.4 thousand. So nice trade there. This is just a classic Trump talking about Intel. Every single time he's been doing this in the past 6 to 12 months, Intel's gone up. So I figured, why not join the party this time around? Hut is a data center play. Micron, like I said, I already got out of it. I got out of it on this pop, maybe on either Monday or Wednesday, Tuesday of last week. And now I feel really stupid about it. Rum taking a breather. Tesla kind of going flat. Avago, the rare red semiconductor play today. So worthwhile to watch. TSM, new all-time high. Google breaking down, not holding that 50 EMA. ASML, another new all-time high. They create the machinery for semiconductors. AMD, a leading semiconductor play. SanDisk gapping up to another new all-time high, looking like Micron ripping. You have Lam Research almost at a new all-time high, getting a lot of options volume last week. That's why it's now on my watch list. Apple showing a little bit of life. Microsoft looking horrible given the context of the rest of the market. Same with Meta. Amazon taking a breather below the 50 EMA. Salesforce getting destroyed. You have Nebius, however you want to say it. This is another Leopold play, but hit an all-time high this morning, giving some back. Netflix trending down, getting destroyed. Palantir not looking so good. Oracle failing to get the upside gap fill, failing at the 50 EMA, continuing its trajectory down ever since its failed earnings. Texas Roadhouse ripping, 164 to 184. Hell yeah, brother. CoreWeave taking a little bit of a breather. I did like last week how it recovered the 50 EMA. Coinbase is up. MicroStrategy is up. DJT is down, and it's going down. AMC's putting in a red day, but honestly, it's been a pretty nice rip from $1 to $2.80, which means that the people still holding AMC only needed to go another 99% for them to be break even. So that's pretty exciting for that community. Bonds a little bit down, so yields a little bit up. We talked about NDX. Silver, a bit of a recovery, but overall downtrend. Same thing with gold. A little bit green today from open, but overall trending down. Just this parabolic push in January. Obviously, that couldn't hold. And then CAST. I don't know anything about this company, but in the Discord on Friday, we were talking about maybe we need to start integrating the concept of shorting these really, really shitty penny stocks. So I looked at CAST, huge jump in price, huge jump in volume, huge jump in chatter in social media, a bunch of retail people trying to pump and dump it. So it made me think, wow, this is probably a really good short. And guess what? It's already down 12.5%. So I don't know anything about it. I just know this is a retail orchestrated pump and dump. Like when I say I don't know anything about it, I don't know anything about it as a company. And if you ask me, given enough time, this thing is going to be returning to sub $4. So I have no trade on it. I want to be completely like honest and earnest and transparent with you. I'm not long. I'm not short. I don't have calls. I don't have puts. I have no position related to CAST. It just caught my mind when we were talking about shorting crappy penny stocks on Friday in the Goonie trading Discord. And this was my leading candidate. And it's interesting that it's already down 12.6%. So all right, before I switch it up and we talk a little bit about the overall market and kind of do a deep dive, just while I'm here looking at individual equities, is there anything on your mind, folks, that you want me to look at for individual equities? Type it away. What do we have going on? Individual equities that are currently catching your mind that I did not quite talk about or you want me to do a deeper dive into, type away as quickly as you possibly can. Faster. I know there's a little bit of delay in the stream, but you guys got to be faster. BlackBerry, you should be able to read my mind. BlackBerry consolidation, huge pop up, pulls back, lower highs, equal lows. Right now, you're waiting for it to break this trend basically back to the upside. Why is Rum struggling? Once again, that's not the right question. The right question isn't why is it going up or down. The question is, okay, like what's the movement? What's the risk reward? Can we play right now? Be very, very careful of trying to put like a subjective fundamental analysis over the concept of short-term trading. BE. Bloom Energy. This is another Leopold play. The purchase was back here. Pops up, pulls back, 50 EMA, fake out breakdown. You go long at 259. You risk 232. The play was back here. So if you're in it, ride it. But this is just because something looks bullish doesn't mean that's the point that you'd have to buy it. First, you want to do an analysis of is something bullish or bearish. And then from there, you have to ask yourself, is the risk reward worth it? Right now, the bulls are clearly in control, except the last time you had acceptable risk was all the way back here in, well, when I say all the way back here, basically late last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. But if I were in it, I'd be more than happy to keep riding. What is red wire? Red. I don't see it. Red wire. I'm not seeing red wire. Oh, oil, I'm currently bearish on. I think it drops to the low 70s. Where is it at right now? High 60s. Yeah, all right. It's already right here. The obvious oil trade, oops, sorry, was this one. This breakdown. Somewhere between Tuesday, June the 9th and the 11th, at least for swing traders. If you're day trading oil, that's a different situation. But I'm looking at these lower highs, these higher lows. What's that? That's consolidation. You wait for the consolidation to break. Started to break, actually broke. You're short at 88. You're risking 95. You're already riding it down to 73. But once again, that's a swing perspective. So maybe you're playing it on the futures market. Maybe you're playing puts on USO, whatever it is. To be bullish on oil right now, I mean, the technicals are against you. It's very much against you. Now, failed breakout. Looks pretty bearish to me. RDW. Red wire core. Oh, it's one word. Failed breakout. It's failing at the 50 EMA. Failed pump. Dumping. Didn't hold. Didn't revert. Looks pretty weak. Wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down to $10. I have no idea what this does. It does aerospace and defense company. And it seems like the previous price action, this is what it does. Huge pops, huge drop, big pop, big drop, big pop, big drop, big pop, big drop, big pop. And we're now seeing a big drop. Doesn't seem to be something worthwhile to invest in, but it does seem to be a great trade in both different directions. Do you typically front run breakouts when you play options? Yeah, I want to, because if you're chasing the breakout, inherently you're just taking on large risk because you're far from your risk point. So I'd rather get in on the dip and pray that it reverses right there rather than chasing it. I was talking about the Goonie Discord. People were asking where can they trade with me, GoonieTrading.com. But also I want to shout out to Alpha Futures because I know right here it says 25% off, but they just messaged me this morning for 48 hours only. They are doing a 2-day flash sale. And because it's such a good deal, every person is limited to only 3 accounts. Just so you know, it's a 48-hour flash sale. The deal is so good, you can only buy 3 accounts. But right now, if you use that code Goonie, you're not getting 25% off. You're getting 40% off, where I'm a big fan of the premium account. If you do standard, it's only $47. And then if you choose to do it for no activation fee, it's going to be $95. And when I'm talking about these fees, I'm talking about it for the 50K account, which means you could be all in for less than $100. Less than $100 all in right now. And once again, because it's such a dramatically good deal, once again, 50K account, no activation fee option, 95 buckaroos. Because it's so good, it's only going to last for 2 days and you can only buy 3 accounts. But once again, if you use code Goonie, that 40%, I know it says 25, but if it's one of your first 3 accounts, it'll actually be 40% off. So pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I like the premium account. Of course, they have 0, they have advanced. I think premium's the best. And I just want to let you know, Alpha's the one where your max payout actually scales. It goes from 3K to 3.5 to 4 to 4.5 to 5 to 6. So it's the only prop firm, I should say trusted prop firm, where your payouts are going to scale for each payout request. So pretty cool. But I just want to let you know, you can get all in for less than $100, 95 all in premium, no activation fee. It's going to be 95 buckaroos on that 50K account. And once again, it is today and tomorrow only, and you can only have 3 accounts. So shout out to Alpha there. What time is it? 9:47. All right, it's not the craziest time for me to trade. It's not the craziest time. We're overcoming 1 VWAP. We're overcoming 1 VWAP. Why can you guys not see it? Okay, there you go. All right, for some reason had that blacked out. I'm not 100% sure why. I'm not 100% sure why. Talking about breakouts, so I want to buy this breakout. That's quite the risk if I'm wrong. Quite the risk if I'm wrong. You can see I did 1 scalp trade this morning. It's a bit of a bummer that
Order submitted.
I need to fix that voice thing. It's so annoying.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Like, did it even trade up there? How did
Order submitted. Order submitted.
it's so annoying. Okay.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
Are we just in hell? Whatever this newest update is, it's a pain in my ass. All right, at least that doesn't. Okay, so it's order submitted. So how can I change this? Tools, tools, settings, sound. How do I switch this? Order filled, order pending, order. Where's the order submitted one? Connected, connection loss, order canceled. Is there a WAV file? Order pending, reversing, stop filled, target filled, order. Where's the order submitted one? Announcement, break even, auto chase, sound, order canceled, order filled, order pending. This is going to get, all right, do I want to get rid of all of these? Okay, let's just get rid of all of them for right now because that is going to annoy me today. Okay, what do we want to go for today? What do we want to go for? I mean, I kind of like this up to 31,000. Let's see. SMCI is ripping, actually looking really good. SMCI is up 13%, and then Micron is up quite a bit, but it's trending down. HUT, Intel, Marvel, Nvidia, SpaceX is getting murked right now. All right, what do we have here? Potentially a fake out breakout on the 10-minute. It's interesting. Pop up, we push, it gets sold off, big wick. A really big wick. So people were trying to buy that dip pretty aggressively. Where are we at on the daily right now? I'm still looking at this 532. What do we have? We do have a negative gamma node. I forgot to do this breakdown. So we have a bit of evident support found at 7,500. Why? Key technical level, key psychological level, and obviously it's a key positive gamma node. So since we're on the north side of it, you do have clear support for many, many reasons at 7,500. Not so surprised that that first dip was already bought this morning. But if we keep going, which maybe we have some bulls in the audience, I don't know if you're bullish, I don't know if you're bearish, but if you are, things to consider. Okay, you have a little bit of a negative gamma node potential target at 75.30, which is that breakout from Wednesday of last week. But what's more interesting to me is this negative gamma node at 75.50. So in terms of bullish targets above, I'm looking for the breakout of 75.30 and some change, call it 30.35, somewhere in there. And then from there, I'm looking at 75.50 on a 0 DTE basis. That's what I'm interested in. Those are the levels that I'm seeing. That's where I think things could get a little bit fun. Once again, those would be your bullish targets. I could zoom out just to see if there's much past it. If you get lucky and there's a real ripper, 75.80, but once again, that would be a reach target. I think 75.50 is the pretty evident, clear bullish play of the day if you think the bulls are in control. And like I said, big support here, which also means if you're bearish, that would be an obvious target. And then if you continue to be bearish, you'd be looking at 74.75 followed by 74.60. So once again, 74.75. This is if 7,500 breaks because you rip through this negative gamma. You have a bit of support here. Once again, 74.75. And then past that, you have 7,460. So obviously, we're kind of oscillating above, below 7,500. As long as we're above it, I think the bulls are in control, targeting 75.30. Maybe 35, and then really the ultimate target of the day for a 0 DTE basis is 75.50. I'm liking this negative gamma node in the top right of your screen. Obviously, you can map these levels over to what you think is going to happen in ES, and then obviously NQ as well, highly correlated. And then to wrap this up, just to let you guys know my bias on it, obviously I am bullish, but if you happen to be bearish and if you're like, you know what, kid, you're completely wrong and you have to be bearish today, I'm not buying what you're saying. Basically, you'd be looking for the rejection at 75.30. You'd be looking to play it back to 7,500, maybe 75.05, front run a little bit, and then you'd have some reach targets at 74.75 and 74.60. So that's how I see the bull case. That's how I see the bear case. Every single day, I like to prep up both just to know what's going on, because obviously a lot of trading is just admitting that you're wrong, or at least a lot of good trading is admitting that you're wrong. So that's kind of my goal, is to have both. And right now, I would say based on options flow, but more so, options flow is not the best. It was a little bullish, a little bearish, a little bullish, a little bearish, higher low. Maybe it's going to get going right now. Mag 7 was bearish, turn around at 9:36. So we had 6 minutes of bearishness. Now we're off to the races in the Mag 7. And the NASDAQ was kind of bullish up until 9:40, took a hit, now going flat. So if you look at the movement in the world of options, it's a little choppy. Mag 7's a bit bullish. NASDAQ's a bit bearish, and the SPY is a bit undecided. So I would say we're getting a mixture of signals in the world of options flow. But then if we look at price structure and price momentum, well, right here, momentum, green, 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 green. So 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, all bullish. Looking at the structure, we have basically equal highs and equal lows on the 1 minute, but the rest of them are higher highs and higher lows. Looking at the NASDAQ, same thing. We have equal highs, equal lows, but then if you look at the 5 minute, 10 minute, and 30 minute, it's higher highs and higher lows. So that's obviously a quick little snapshot of what's going on right now. Does that mean that it's going to hold? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But just to, as of 9:54 in the morning, that's the breakdown of what's currently happening. Now, obviously, remember, the market is dynamic. Things can change on a moment's notice. But as of 9:54, 9:55, I think there's a very strong argument that the bulls are in control. Will they remain in control? Maybe. Will they get stronger? Maybe. Will they lose control and then the Bears take over? Yeah. Could the Bears be super strong today? That is totally possible. But all I can tell you is we're trying to do our best to read the real-time information. The real-time information. Where can I get that ninja indicator that shows the current just Google NinjaTrader 8 order line decorator. The thing where it tells you your profit and your loss. Google search, and then you're going to download the file, the zip file. Once again, it is NinjaTrader 8 order line decorator. Matt, I know what this is. It does the same for me because you're trading multiple accounts and there's a voice for every account, and that's how the new update. Yeah, it's only with the new update. It's absurdly annoying, and I wish I could apply the sound to just the lead account, but I suppose it is what it is. I suppose it is what it is. Speaking of which, I need to decide where I'm going to bail on this trade if I am wrong. I was looking right for a good second there. I was looking right for a good second. You know what I forgot to do? Never. Well, I should still probably do it just for it's good practice. We're 6 p.m. Thursday. Okay, this was the overnight low, and this was the overnight high. I am long, just so you guys know. I'm not trying to hide my position from you or anything. I'm just roughly break even, so there's nothing too exciting. I try to buy this EMA and the VWAP, the RTH VWAP recapture right here at 948. That happened in this breakout bar. I went long at 949. I like this higher low. I like the bounce off of VWAP. And if this continues to hold, I'll actually move my stop up to this level. So I'm only taking, instead of 100 points plus of risk, I'm only going to be taking 30 points plus of risk. But I would like to do this on a push above 927, which is the current intraday high. The current intraday high. Let's see how we can get going today, team. Yes, exactly. You could always mute your PC. Well, I went into general and I changed it to turn it off for all, which is still kind of a pain though, because I want the sound on for one of the accounts, the lead account. I just don't want it to be ripping through on all the other ones. Do I want to move my risk up now? I need to consider 42. We're maybe triple top. Like I said, I want to take out, can it hold 900? All right, so we're battling it out at 900. Let me move this up for a second just so it kind of makes this come on. What I'm looking to do. So I have to be a little careful today because I'm in the new stages of funded accounts on TPT. You could see, where are they? On the very bottom of your screen, I have TPT Pros, which have a trailing drawdown, which means it's unrealized trailing drawdown. So if it goes up $2,000 and then pulls back and I only take out 500, I'm actually off by 1,500, whatever that difference is. So this is only true when you're building out your buffer. As soon as you hit your buffer, it no longer matters. It stops trailing you at a certain point. But it does mean when you first get going with them, you really don't want it to draw back too far, because whatever that drawback is, until you max out the buffer, it definitely it just digs into whatever your leeway is. All right. So my question, do I want to go break even right here? Okay. So if I get fortunate enough for a break of 927, which is what we're going for right now, do I want to go break even, or do I want to go to this recent swing low, or do I just want to take the $1,000? All right. Well, while we're talking about it, the fact that we are talking about it makes me feel as if, okay, if you're talking about it, it's probably good enough at minimum to go stop to break even. If you're trying to figure it out and you're seeing green on your charts, if you're in a moment of mental computation and yet you're a new father, so your mathematical abilities are that of a cold bowl of mashed potatoes, it's probably best off to at least protect yourself by getting your stop to break even. So my stop to break even, I hit the free trade button. It is now officially a free trade. The question is the management from here. Just so you guys know, why am I'm not targeting 2,500. I'm targeting 1 point below 31,000 just because I feel like there could be sellers there. But let's see. That's breaking. That's going. What is this high? This might be a bit of an issue for me. What is this? 975. Okay. So I'm seeing a recent high, which might actually be the all-time high. No, it's not. Hang on. Let's mark some of this out. Tonto. All right. So the all-time high on NQ on the new contract is 31,097. But then I also have to worry about 975. Once again, this is all in the new contract, which we should all be trading. All right. I just want to get these levels out just in case there's a reaction. So I need to watch 975, and I'm not even going to be into 31,097. That's overshooting my target by almost 100 points. All right. That's a bit of a hit that I'm not the biggest fan of. Okay. I don't want to overreact, but I also don't want to underreact. We want to trade with the flow today. We want to be in that nice flow state. And as long as the trend is reasonable, we want to stay in the trend. But just because the trend goes against you, you don't want to be like a toddler and rage quit and let a winning trade somehow become a losing trade either. So what is the nice in between? Is this a reasonable breather to tag 900? It could be. Like I said, to protect myself from myself, my stop's already at break even. I will not lose money on this trade. You know what? I'm going to move it up a little bit so I can at least make some money. So no matter what, we're making $100. The question is are we making $100 or are we making 2,500? That's the real question here. What's the cloud indicator on Ninja? This, it's just my own super trend. I literally just took the math of super trend, put it into ChatGPT, and I said, make this a Ninja Trader indicator for me. It's just normal super trend. I just copied the math of it. I Googled, what is the math of super trend? And then it gave me the math. I copy and pasted that into ChatGPT, and I said, make this a Ninja Trader indicator for me. But I think there are, to be fair, you could do that. But I think there's already some pre-made ones. I think it's called TS, T as in Tom, TS Super Trend. So you might not even have to do what I did. It is, obviously, I'm letting you know what I did, but I think there's already a pre-built free one out there for everyone. Someone said Tesla baby. I thought Tesla was looking kind of weak. Am I missing something? Okay, so this is the pre-market high. This is that level that we saw last week at 75. So I want to set an alert there. Obviously, we want to know the intraday low. I want to set an alert there. And as long as if it can hang above, if it doesn't retest 907, I'm actually going to be sitting pretty comfy. Once again, my stop, worst case scenario, is I'm already in the money. But I don't want to let it come back that much. You could say, but Matt, if that's a recent low, why not put your stop there? The issue is it very easily could go from 907 to 900, bounce off of that and rip. But you could say, Matt, as easily as that could happen, it could also quickly crack 900, hit 879, tag you out for basically nothing, and then rip anyway. So wouldn't you rather capture that extra 20 points? That's also fair because these ranges are massive. So it's nothing to go 20, 30 points. That's like all completely fair. I wouldn't say it's necessarily criticism. I would just say it's something that you actively have to consider. Now, if this higher low can hold, granted, I'm really zoomed in. I'm on the 100 tick. All right, let's look at our momentum panel, ESNQ, super bullish, super bullish, super bullish, bullish breakout, and then super bullish. So momentum is bullish. Obviously, structure is bullish. The question is what is the pathway going to be? And like I said, remember, my big call out of the day is 7530 at first. So if you're looking at SPX, I'll just throw up SPX over here. My first target, remember, SPX is the actual S&P 500. SPY is the ETF created to track it, pretty similar to VOO. So you just have to do the equivalent levels, but they're all the same thing. They're all the S&P 500 index, but SPX is the actual S&P 500 index. Anyway, I'm looking to see this test and ideally the breakout of the somewhere between 530 and 532. And then from there, my real bullish target on the day, my reach bullish target on the day is 7550. And if we could hit that in the morning session, I would be one happy camper because that would mean I locked in all my money and I'm done for the day. That is where I'd be stoked. So SPCX is getting hit, but I see people continuing to talk about, Tesla is ripping. Look at that. Look at that. Do I want Tesla? Oh, that's a nice recovery too. The risk isn't the worst. Do I want to dump SPCX for Tesla? What are we doing? Tesla. Oh, look at that too. It's off to the races. All right. Sell to close 3. All right, I'm getting out of my SPCX. Don't need those. Let's see what levels are people targeting on Tesla. Open interest 415 and 420. They're looking at they're hitting the 415s and the 420s. They're buying calls and selling puts, buying calls, selling puts, selling calls, selling puts. So this is going to the 22nd, 21st. What do we have here? The 420 is the interesting bet. 420 on Tesla. But for what day? Do I want to join this party on Tesla? It is looking mighty strong. It is looking mighty, mighty strong. Okay. Hang on, I'm just trying to update what we have going on. Managing a couple things at once, so just give me one quick second. I need to update the Discord of what I've been doing. Okay, hang on. If you're in the Discord, okay. If you're in the Discord, I updated the plays that I did. I'm somehow underwater on my SPY calls, but I'm above water on my cue calls. Okay, I don't have anything in June anymore, which is nice. So no matter what, I have some time to breathe. However, my futures plays. Okay, futures play is looking good. I think I might just leave this here. How would you guys play this? If you were me on NQ right now, would you keep the stop at 79? Would you move it up to 905? Or would you do something? Would you just trail it, like maybe even more aggressively, like 927? How would you guys manage it? Or maybe your issue isn't on the stop. Is your issue on the profit target? Would you say, no, man, dude, maybe take it off at 90 instead of 99? Or do you think we're actually going to bust and break what was that next level? It was, I saw it on the 30-minute, the all-time high. Should I be targeting 31, like a whole nother 100 points? I'm looking right here where my cursor is just because it's 31,000. But if you look at this high, it's actually 31,097. I do want this break as 75. Remember, I guess before we put a cart in a horse and put one in front of the other, maybe we should be looking at 75.50. I think I did set an alert to know if we break out of that. 75.50. I will draw a horizontal line, 75.50. So this is a previous high right there. This little teal, light blue, whatever you want to call it, this baby blue line. I'm looking for the breakout there. Obviously, my stop is slightly in the money. Now that I'm thinking out loud, I don't think I can leave my stop here just because of the TPT accounts, because if it comes all the way down, that's going to be eating into my unrealized drawdown to the tune of 1.6K. So I think I either need to get lucky and it just needs to shoot straight up as in not have that much of a pullback, or I need to be more aggressive with this stop. Come on, keep it going. Maybe even more aggressive than 905. To be very clear, this is not how I would normally trade it. Normally, I would leave it at that 79, personally, just giving it some room, because remember, you could be bullish, but that doesn't mean like the pathway is exclusively straight up. But I am considering the mathematical impacts of these pro accounts, which are unrealized drawdown until you max out the buffer. So normally I'd just say, okay, whatever. Maybe I have a runner. I'd leave that stop at break even and I'd come back at 4 p.m. and see how it plays out. But in this case, if it goes all the way up and comes all the way back down for break even, it's not a scratch day for me. It's actually net down because it's eating into my buffer that much. So I need to be a bit more. Okay, so at worst, this would be 600. So stop is $1,000 in the money. $1,000. Okay, we are coming up to that 75 level. Let's see how it plays out. Hopefully, I can lock in 2.5. Oh, there's a lot of sellers at 75. You can see here on Bookmap. Boom. They are loading up at 75. Now, remember, just because there's a lot of orders there, it doesn't mean they have to get filled. Means they might get filled. They could always move it, or maybe it is a serious wall. It's just something to consider. All I could tell you is there is a large sitting order to sell at 75. They might be selling to open. They might be selling to close. We don't know the current position of those players. That would be impossible to know. Wait, is this going to tag me out anyway? This is frustrating. Do I give it room? Am I this guy? Do I target these lows, or do I just close this? These pullbacks are tough. $1,000. This is where they get you, the unrealized drawdown, and it's going to go, fuck, do I tough it out? What do I want to do? Come on, just bounce right here. Be another higher low. If it's another higher low, I could have justification for staying in, because the structure, the momentum's clearly bullish. The question is, what's the structure going to be? Come on, just bounce right out of here. Don't even tag 900. Just get right out of here. Go from 900 straight to 31,000. Come on. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm tempted to use this 9. I'm tempted. How do I want to do it? How do I want to do it? Come on. Just be a higher low. Bounce out of here. Bounce out of here. You could do it. You could do it, Bulls. Come on. If it could just bounce right out of here. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to bounce out of here. A little fake out dip. Now, where's that fake out dip to where's the rip? We had part one dip. Where's part two? Where's that rip? And if it can pop, then I can move higher or equal lows, higher low. I could probably base it at that higher low. Come on, just get out of there. Yeah, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Break out at 940, 945, 940, 945. I like that. If it can go. Come on. Come on. Get going. Markets doesn't know what it wants to do here. Doesn't want to keep buying all the dips. We've been dip buying all morning. Is this a little bit of a pivot? Is it a little bit of a pivot? Come on. No. No. Get away. Yeah, tagged me. See how slow it is now, too? The new Ninja is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, look how slowly this is updating. And all the trades got filled properly. Like, they're all roughly $800. But look how slow that was. But anyway, locked in $800 multiplied by how many ever accounts I have. So the drawback was after update. So yeah, the new update sucks. I don't know why I did it. I was just behind. I was like, oh, maybe I should be updating this. Of course, there it goes. But anyway, whatever. Locked in $800 per account multiplied by all of these accounts. So I think the highest I saw was 1,600, which means my unrealized drawback there was 800, which is something that I guess I just have to contest with, something that I have to figure out. But that's all right. I mean, I played it well. I mean, I tried to give it a shot to go. I at least thought we'd be tagging 75, but right here, 68. And of course, we can still keep going. It's just the pathway to those levels are a little bit suspect. A little bit suspect. What time is it? 10:15. It is a good time of the day. Are we just going to do a quick little kiss of the 50 EMA and go? A quick little kiss. Where is VWAP? VWAP. Spam risk. Okay, so we have VWAP at 870. I'll throw in a pending order at VWAP to see if we can get this bounce. I'll try my luck at VWAP. If it dips, I don't want to chase it, but I'm actually kind of happy I got out because I wasn't full tripping this, which that is one of, I don't know. I think it's you live by the sword, you die by the sword with that type of stuff. Sometimes it helps you, sometimes it hurts you. I'm trying to get, do I want to move it down to 60? Little VWAP bounce right here, perhaps. 40. All right. Maybe we bounce at this VWAP. Maybe we don't. Well, hang on. Maybe I don't even get a fill. Maybe it bounces a couple points before I get a fill. That's a bit of a... What are we doing? Is it bouncing without me? Oh, do I like this? Or do I want to wait? That's some pretty direct selling. 970 down to 870. That's 100 points. That's 2K per contract right there. I got really close to getting a fill. It just didn't do it. I was off by, what, 2 points? 73.50. I was off by 2.5 points. I'll leave it there for a second. I don't necessarily want to chase a random 20-point pop. Obviously, if buyers clearly step back in, I might have to, but we're going to see. We're going to see. It kissed it before. All right, I am in. I got a fill at 71. All right, let's move this up to. All right. So I'm long at this VWAP. What is this low? This low is 40, maybe a little double bottom low there, 43. What are these? That's the low eights. All right. I don't want to give this too much room. What is this? 42 is seemingly the low from 9:55 this morning. So once again, what am I doing? Literally just things are bullish. We have higher highs, higher lows, and I'm buying at VWAP. Us hoping that other players are also buying at VWAP. But I don't want to give it the most room in the world to run against me. So maybe I just immediately go to this low. All right, so my risk is now 585. So taking quite a bit of risk off the table, basically risking the dip low that we had just now and also at 955. Let's see. The question is, will this hold or not? That is the question. If it can retake out 900, I'm feeling pretty darn good. I'm feeling pretty darn good. I'm watching 900 as my recovery zone. But maybe this is a fake out. All right, move my risk up a little bit more to 470. I'm just trying to slowly but surely take all risk off the table. And as soon as your stop's at break even, then you could, of course, breathe a little bit easier and be a little bit more loosey-goosey with it. Your stream is way behind compared to others. What do you mean by way behind? That sounds a little dramatic. Obviously, you could check my time against your system clock and see. But what do you mean by way behind? I have a feeling that you're being dramatic, way behind. The stream delay is somewhere normally, depending on your internet connection, between 10 and 15 seconds, normally. Stream late. I can't change. On Rumble, it's less right now. I'm looking at the latency of the two. It's less on Rumble at the moment, but I can't change YouTube's midstream, but I can by the next stream try to update that. Hang on. Am I about to get clocked here? It looks like your boy's about to get... Ooh, is it coming for me? It feels like I'm about to get clocked. All right. I manually close it out to stay green on the day. Look how slow this is. Oh, wait. Is it not? What the fuck's going on? Oh, it's just that slow. Okay, so all the trades are right. It just took forever to actually properly show. Be careful with that. This new Ninja update, at least if you're using a trade copy or something, it's very, very slow. So just be mindful of that. I don't know what's going on. All of them are right. Like, it did give me the proper fill. It just took forever to actually properly update. So just be mindful. It's the newest update. Clearly, there's some form of a bug. So I just want to do a little bit of a public service announcement on that one and let you guys know that if you see it in there, but everything's properly hooked up, maybe give it a second to breathe. Just because, I mean, you just saw mine for a second. It was showing it as if they're still there, but a little bit of time passed and it properly cleared it. So just a little bit of a public service announcement. All right. That was a pre-market high. Here's the RTH high. All right, so we're marking alerts for key levels. So not the best for me so far. I feel like my trades have actually been good. It's just I haven't had the most luck with just follow through and everything. Right here, I feel like I reasonably got out when I should have. So that was a nice $800 trade. I tried to buy right at VWAP, and unfortunately, it knocked me out by making a fresh low. I was looking good for 1 second, just couldn't recapture 900. I still feel like it was actually a reasonable trade. I don't necessarily dislike how I've handled. I've traded twice today. I don't really mind how I've done any of this. It just the market just didn't do what I wanted it to do. But in terms of what was in my control, in terms of risk management, trading with trend, trading against trend. Like in terms of following my system and being reasonable with it, I'm actually happy with how I've performed thus far today, especially relative to the past like 3 weeks. We didn't get that follow through on the initial push to my target. So maybe the one criticism, maybe just thinking out loud here of, okay, like what's fair, what's not fair. Maybe the second it went 50 points in my favor, 50 points is a really, really good day. There is an argument of like, why overstay your welcome? Maybe. Matt, I think you should have taken the 300 probably and then set up for another trade. Okay, you could think that, but based on what? Right here, look at, we dipped at 847, ripped to 967. The last time it dipped, dance, huge pop. If I show you this right now, there's no way you can be confident and be like, no, this time is different. No, this time's definitely different. No way are we going up. Based on the information we had at that time, I got in. I did not chase it. I waited for a key level. I put my risk at the recent low to see if it would go. It did go. It just happened to be a bit of a fake out, rejected at 900, and then I got out when I had to get out. So be careful when you're judging yourself that you're not doing Monday morning quarterbacking. Of course, if I'm doing Monday morning quarterbacking, I would say, yeah, I could have gone long at 943. I could have gotten out at 1011, and I could have gone short there, and I would still be in the short. Yeah, we're all really, really good traders in hindsight. But if you're using future information to somehow judge how you handle the trade in real time, well, that's not a fair, I guess, like a measuring stick, because you wouldn't know that information in real time. Like you wouldn't. Reverse court trades. Well, to be fair, that would have been a really, really profitable strategy recently, but today you'd be down money. If you did reverse it, hey, I'll be the first to admit, if you use that strategy for the past 2 weeks, you'd be up a lot of money. But if you use it today, this would be a rare red day for you for sure. It would definitely be a rare red day. But hey, there's still time in the day. I have enough faith in myself that I could still somehow go red for sure. For sure. Let's see. Yeah, we're about to be full tripping. We made at 933, that was the intraday low. At 1010, that was the intraday high. And we are apparently very rapidly puking to that intraday low. Maybe some buyers stepping in just below 700, which is 140 point sell off from here. Done for the day. Hey, this market is just in a range. Okay, that's still useless information. The range is huge. You can make a lot of money. That's like by just like, what does that even mean? The market is in a range. Like, what are we supposed to reasonably take away from that? Are you saying that that's good to trade? Are you saying that that's bad to trade? Are you saying that you should or shouldn't be trading? Are you saying you're bullish? Are you saying you're bearish? Like, what does that mean? And also, because it's in a range, are you saying thus because of that, it then has to stay in a range? Or you're saying it's in a range, so it's about to break out and you want to taste that? Like, once again, so like the statement, this market is just in a range, there was 760 to 960. There's 200 points of upside. That's $4,000 per contract. And then from 960 down to 800, that's another 160 points. So that's going to be another, what, 3K? So you had $4,000 of upside from low to high, and then another three plus from here to here. So to say it's just a range, as in, no, you can't trade it because it's a range. Like, these are huge ranges. Almost to the point that they're not ranges, almost to the point that it's a huge uptrend followed by a huge downtrend. To say it's just a range when we've moved 200 points and then 160, 200 in one direction, 160 in the other, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. At that extreme amount of movement, I'd be incredibly curious of what you define as a range that is worthwhile to trade then, or like what's not range. Does it have to be going 1,000 points? Are you exclusively like, okay, I only wait for Trump to say that we've beaten Iran again and then you trade? Or like, it's always in a range until it isn't. That's kind of my point exactly, is you have to be like, it's called recency bias. It's called anchoring. There's a couple terms in the world of psychology that people use, that they think whatever's going on is the thing that has to keep going on. So right here, it's like up and up and up. There's many traders who are refusing to get out of their longs because they're like, no, it was up. It has to keep going up. And right now we're getting clocked. And then there's more recent traders who are seeing it going down and down and down. So they're only going to be bearish, not realizing that, yeah, it might keep going down, but it could also pop. Same thing with this range, same thing with consolidation or expansion. Remember, the market naturally ebbs and flows. It's going to be a pendulum back and forth, from bullish to bearish, from bearish to bullish, from consolidation to expansion, consolidation to expansion. So you have to be really, really careful with the common pitfall that many traders fall into. And I'm not innocent of this. I'm probably one of the worst violators, the most guilty of this, of admitting to yourself that things can change right away at any point. So to be like, no, it's range bound, I'm not trading. Well, remember, eventually ranges change and then you trend. So you might be missing the trend. And same thing with trending. You're like, oh, it's trending so hard this way, I got to go this way. It's like, well, it could go from trending to consolidation, or it could reverse trend. Basically, you have an infinite amount of possibilities because there's an infinite amount of variables that are impacting the market at any given moment in time. Whether it's random news announcements from what's happening with Trump and Iran, or maybe there's some big movement from the Fed, or maybe there's an earnings, or maybe Elon says something. You just don't know. There's like literally an infinite amount of possibilities that are impacting the system that we've referred to as the market. So you have to open your mind up to really the mathematical term is variance. But in more of layman's terms, you have to open your mind up and your heart, if you will, to the possibility that anything could happen. So you like always, like, no matter what, whether you're in the trade and losing, in the trade and break even, in the trade and going up, not in the trade at all, you just always have to continually ask yourself, like, okay, like at what point do I just have to admit I'm wrong? Like, what has to develop here where you're like, yep, I'm just wrong on this one. And I think if you keep that on the forefront of your mind, if you're continually just asking yourself, okay, like, okay, this is where I'd be wrong, or always ask yourself the worst case situation. And if you're trading size, and let's also say you're trading reaction through that lens, through forefront of your mind of like, okay, this is the worst case situation, this is how I'm going to handle it. Well, inherently, you're then always protecting yourself from the worst case situation. That's what you want to do. So could I have made more money? Well, yeah, we could all always make more money if you trade it perfectly, but no one's ever going to trade anything perfectly because that's only possible in hindsight. It's only possible in hindsight. Right here, I could have told you guys, oh my God, the fact that we broke this low, we had a low at 955, we pierced it at 1020. That's the most evident short ever. Why are you not going short there? Look how many points you'd be up. Do you know how many counter examples I could be showing you right now of a double bottom where it wicks it just below, like this, wicks it just below, and then we rip and go all the way up? It happens both ways. It happens both ways, folks. So the point is at any moment in time, the chance of the next bar being red or green is 50-50. The chance of the next trend being bullish or bearish and changing at that point is 50-50, especially in short-term trading. If you're day trading, there's a lot more noise than anything else. Of course, you can identify true skews and trends, stronger trends, more mathematically measurable trends that are devoid or closer to like being outside the world of noise. The longer the time frame, this is the balancing act. The shorter the time frame you're trading, the more noise that's going to be involved. The longer the time frame that you're trading, the less noise that's going to be involved. If you haven't heard of the mathematical term noise, basically think of it as randomness. Random buys, random sells, maybe pop out, maybe breakouts, maybe breakdowns, maybe fake out breakouts, maybe fake out breakdowns. Just the shorter your time frame, the more randomness involved. As you lengthen your time frame, going from whatever, the 1 minute, the 100 tick, to the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the yearly, that gradient is less and less noise and more real and real signal. So that's inevitably going to be the trade-off. There's not really a way in which you can trade in short term and not have noise. That's just life. That's like what it's gonna be. So we somehow full trip this, and we're actually just broke IB low. Jesus, a clear switcheroo. Please don't cancel me. But the 1 minute breaking down, not looking back, the 5-minute breaking down, not looking back, the 10-minute breaking down, not looking back, to the point that even the 30-minute is now testing. I'm curious if this is going to be real. When I say real, like actually we hold here. So not this bar, which closes in 27 minutes. I care about the bar after this, the bar following this one. And I want to know, do we take out the high or do we take out the low? So I assume the same thing is true on the NASDAQ. The 1 minute, very strong. The 5-minute, very strong. The 10-minute, very strong. And guess what happens? Sometimes it goes the other way. Boom, something happened at 10:15 and it just hit reverse. The old Uno reverso. The 1 minute bullish to bearish, 5-minute bullish to bearish, 10-minute bullish to bearish. Same thing with a 30-minute. I'm curious if people are going to be stepping in here. These mid to upper 600s, it is a clear level of support. You could see just this is where we've had reactions before: resistance, resistance, the gap, resistance, support. So I'm very, very curious if we're going to see some buyers step in roughly within this region. Roughly within this region. If you're just tuning in right now, I have no position. I made a little bit of money. Yes, you could always trade better if you're top ticking and bottom ticking, but the fact that I have any green at all based on how I've been trading lately, I'm pretty stoked the fact that I'm green. So remember, beggars can't be choosers. As a person who's recently had to buy many, many eval accounts, like hundreds of eval accounts probably in the past month, because I've just been so just out of it and degenerate and being stupid and undisciplined and basically just doing everything you like can't do or shouldn't do, has cost me a lot of money in evals. So the fact that I see a little bit of green today, I'm going to keep it. I'm pretty stoked about that one. Speaking of which, if you want to buy it, a 48-hour flash sale. It is today and tomorrow only. Code Goonie will get you 40% off your first 3 accounts, which means your all-in cost on Alpha Futures Premium 50K account is less than $100. It's $95 right now, today. That is the best deal, and it's such a good deal. That's why every user is only limited to 3 accounts. So if you're an Alpha Futures user, great, go get those 3 extra accounts. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to try Alpha Futures, well, mathematically, financially, right now is that time, and you could try up to 3 accounts with a fat discount of 40%. And why I'm saying it's a fat discount, a lot of the times, this is, I would say, maybe their common deal is 10% off. Sometimes you see a 20-25%. The fact that they're going up to 40% just shows you how like kind of rare this is. So once again, that's why you're limited to 3, and you could do that today and tomorrow. You can buy up to 3 accounts. Use that code Goonie for 40% off. I do want to add one thing. Keltner. Ooh. Ouch. Yeah, look at this. It was so bad. The Keltner is a 2 standard deviation move from the 10 EMA. And we pierced it and we're just getting demolished each time. It's not even trying. 650. Wow. Look at talk about, imagine saying this is a range bound day where we've gone from 750 to 970 down to 670. And you're like, nah, it's range bound. Clearly not range bound. Clearly not range bound. What time is it? 10:35. Are people buying this dip? Are people gonna buy this dip? I kind of want to go long right now, but that's a lot of risk. The closest reasonable risk I could find is like 660, which is still like a 70-point risk. That's so much. That's so much risk. Do I do it? Do I risk it for the biscuit? Are we done with this crazy selling? Maybe I just give it another beat. Maybe I give it another minute. I'm interested in buying this dip at 730, 720, but my risk would be 660. That's so much. That's so much. Oh, Matt, come on. We just got out of the range. Range is specific to the time frame you're looking at. What you see as a range is probably not a range to most traders. I find that a lot of retail traders behave and interact in the market with the concept that the way they see the market is the one true way to see the market. So, for example, we have a user right now who is saying this is range bound. Okay, maybe it's range bound to you, in the time frame you're on. That's not true. If someone's trading the 100 tick chart right now, they have not seen any range bound trading today. Maybe the only range bound trading they saw was between 10 and 10:05. If you're trading the 30-minute, you're seeing we popped up. Like, my point is, 1 minute is going to be very different than the 5, the 10, the 100 tick, the 500, the 5,000. Like, if you're trading on Renko charts, like, you're going to see something different. I guess, like, I don't mean ego in the term where we like say, oh, that person's egotistical. Like, I don't mean it that way. I mean ego as in of many people. This is just an aspect of the human condition. We have a really tough time understanding that there's other people out there with a full on fucking human experience doing their own thing. And you have to appreciate that, okay, there's other people with other points of view, not only in many aspects of life, but let's call it also here, specifically trading, that right there, you think it's range bound, or maybe you don't think it's range bound, and someone else in chat, you don't even have to get outside of this chat to find someone else with a differing opinion. There's people in chat right now, somewhere between 60 and 40%, who are looking to sell this. They are bearish. They're like, nope, we swept those lows. We are red on the day, and I want to play to the low from Friday. Okay, about 40 to 60% of you in here are looking to do that. And then there's going to be roughly 40 to 60% of you who are like, no, I need to buy this dip, because you're seeing maybe instead of these breakdowns, you're looking at the 30-minute and you're saying, okay, we just wicked below the 50 EMA. We're outside the Keltner. I'm looking for a reversion because we have some nice upside back to 850. And it's going to be one of these things where the half of you that are right, and no one knows who's going to be right, are going to be like, look, I told you so. And then the other half of you that are wrong are going to be like, yeah, no, it just didn't work that time, but it's going to work next time. And I swear it's net profitable. And that's inevitably, I guess, what makes this merry-go-round of trading go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, is so many people don't understand that there's many other people considering many other things, to the point that in short-term trading, it is nothing but mathematically random. For example, I would actually get short here at 756. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. There's going to be, I mean, I could find 50% of examples where you're right, and I can find 50% of examples where you are completely wrong. I find that retail traders really, really, really like to use singular examples to back up their point. If we go to 756, if we get there, which is a big if in itself on NQ, we are currently trading at 700. So you're up here at 756. So you're basically saying you want to go short at this, the technical low from this morning at 933. That could work. Maybe it works. Also, if we get up there, which I give a pretty decent chance to us at least evaluating that level at some point today. But when we get up to that level, whether it's a good long or a good short, you have a 50-50 chance of being right. That's what day trading is. Day trading, especially in the shortest of time frames, it is very, very hard to skew your accuracy outside of the bounds of 60-40. The only way to really skew your bounds is to make it very asymmetric, risking 5 points for 50. But if you're roughly keeping your risk reward the same, like within 1 RR of each other, it's a 60-40 game. That's just how this is. Don't get mad at me about it. Get mad at human psychology and robot psychology and everyone interacting with the market. You have a 50-50 chance at any point in the day if you have roughly the same RR. Once again, the only way to skew it is if you have massive risk and little reward, or massive reward and little risk. That's the only time you're going to skew your accuracy outside of the bounds of 60-40. There's no way where you're like, I have massive risk, I have massive reward, or let's just say equivalent risk, equivalent reward, and you're right 75, 80, 85% of the time. That does not exist. Matt, are you not retail anymore? Dude, I don't even know if I'm human anymore. Well, I need to see how it reacts there. That's all. What does that even mean? I need to see how it reacts there. All these people talking about, yeah, I just read the order book. I just read it. I just consume the thousands of trades that are hitting the tape in real time, and my brain just does a matrix style calculation of if that is good or bad. There's not many more, that's a lie. There's many laughable things in the world of retail trading, but this concept of people reading the tape is so funny to me. It's so funny to me. People are like, yeah, I'm just I'm talking about this of people arguing that they could just look at this in the bottom right of your screen and they're like, yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Like, we just gotta really oh, look at all these numbers going up and down. We're gonna make sense of this one. We're gonna make sense of this one. Oh shit! It went from 60 to 50 to back to 60 to 50. Buy. Sell. Buy. Sell. Buy. Sell. Buy. Buy. Sell. Buy. Now sell. Like, that's how fucking dumb all these people say. That's how fucking dumb they all say. Like, fuck. All of these are trades that are about to be made. This is the real-time tape of other people making decisions. Are they buying open? Are they buying to close? Are they selling open? Are they selling to close? Is it a real order? Is it a fat finger? Is it too much? Is it too little? Did they mean to do that? Is that an accident? Do they have insider information? Are they just a random person guessing? You don't know. This is the randomness of the market. Of course, I do believe that there are edges and skews, but I think most of the edge that can be found has a lot more to do with risk management than anything else. I really, really deeply believe that it comes down to, first and foremost, is your trading size. Are you trading with appropriate size? If you are trading with appropriate size, then it comes from, does your system have positive expected value, EV? I saw this video the other day of someone trying to explain EV like they just created the most impressive mathematical concept ever that the market's never, ever heard of. And they're like, yeah, it's like, and it was like a 20-30 minute video trying to explain EV when it should be done in sub 30 seconds. Folks, EV stands for expected value. It's the percentage of time you're right multiplied by your average win size. And then you take away the percentage of the time that you're wrong multiplied by your average loss size. If you do that arithmetic and it ends up being negative, you have negative EV, and given enough time, you will lose money. If it is positive, given enough time and proper bet sizing, you will be net positive because you have positive expected value. That's all it is. And I was watching this video of people trying to cosplay as like some sort of like retail trader, mathematician explaining math that like other people just don't get. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like what a joke. It's actually rather rudimentary math, and that's the game. And I think a lot of you in here understand that, and you're at that level. Unfortunately, I think there's also quite a few of us, and I'm guilty of this too, is there's certain times where you just get this gut feeling of like, oh, it's going to bounce, like, oh, it's going to rip, blah, 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 like that type of shit. And that has nothing to do with EV. You might get lucky. You might get unlucky. Who knows? The point is that there's not math backing up the decision. There's not math backing up the decision, but this is a clear breakdown. Everything shifted at 10:15. To anyone in this world telling you like, oh, I knew it was going to shift. I knew we were going bullish to bearish and this was a legit breakdown. They're so full of shit. They're so full of shit. Matt, talk about this huge sell-off from 10:10. What do you think we're talking about? Like in real time? What do you think? Am I on mute? It's also not a huge sell-off, to be clear. We haven't been at these levels since Thursday. We haven't been at this level since market open on Thursday. I don't even remember the last time we were trading at these levels. Was it the Great Depression? Please, in chat, someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last time we were trading at 745, 738, was it the Great Financial Crisis? Whatever it was, I must have had so much alcohol to erase it from my mind. I don't recall the last time we were trading at these levels. It was some combination of either the Rona crash, it could have been the Great Financial Crisis, maybe it was the tech bubble pop in the early 2000s. I don't know. We're going to have to really dive into the history books to find the last time that we traded at these levels. It's a scary sell off. We're down 0.2 and 0.3%. It was pre World War III. Yeah. I mean, the last time, that's if we go down 10x more, we're going to be down 2%. And then if we go down 10x more for that, then we'll be down 20%. Oh, man. Let me just put it this way. Every 20% sell-off starts with a 0.2% sell-off. You know? People tend to take offense to constructive feedback. Maybe. A lot of people are a bunch of fucking pussies, too. Here's my constructive feedback. Don't be stupid. But I do want to remind you folks, every 20% sell-off, every market crash starts with a 0.26% sell-off. It's just, yeah, to go down 20%, at some point in time, you have to be down 0.2%. You know? Prove me wrong in that one. You can never trust a dark pool. Tell me about it, brother. Tell me about it. We were just riding this Keltner channel down. Look at that. We got kind of knocked at this positive gamma node at 3.5, actually a little bit less than that. Ripped through this negative. Did not find support at 7,500 at all. That's actually, in terms of this sell-off, I know I'm like kind of making fun of how dramatic a lot of you guys are being. I am legitimately surprised it didn't put up a better fighting chance at 7,500. I mean, it sliced through it. It looked back once, sliced through it, popped, and then the lack of fight here, I find very, very surprising. 7,500, huge psychological level, huge technical level, huge options level. I mean, it's the biggest positive gamma of the day. Very, very deeply, thoroughly surprised it only fought for 1 little minute. Sold off, little bit of a pop, a little bit of a kiss, and then boom, another 20 points in the next 3 to 4 minutes. I am actually surprised about that. That's pretty aggressive. Just remember, it can't go down vibrations. I forgot about that guy. What the fuck is going on? A little Keltner channel pop? A little Keltner channel pop, perhaps, perchance. So we took out the IB low for sure. Actually, this was the IB low. Right at 1030. At 744. Yeah, we ripped right through it. Which trade copier do you use? Replicanto. But I do want to let you know that right now, the newest version of NinjaTrader sucks with it because it's super, super slow. And all the audio, the feedback from the audio is order failed. So it's, yeah, I like Replicanto, but maybe just don't use the newest version of NinjaTrader. Hope your kid doesn't have the attitude you have. Oh. I hope you don't have kids because we don't need more pussies in this world. We don't need more people who are offended by people talking. That's my hope. I hope if you do have kids, they're spitefully grow a spine because they're like, dude, my dad was a little bit of a bitch and I just don't want to be like that in life. I guess that's my hope. But we'll see. You could, if you have kids, I don't know if you have kids, you could raise your kid to be a bitch. I'll raise my kid to not be a bitch. And we'll see who has a better existence. This guy doesn't have kids. Kind of seems like he doesn't have kids. Kind of seems like it. But I don't know. There's some women out there who are into like some pretty lame dudes. That's why I refuse to upgrade my NinjaTrader, dude. I'm jealous. I'm actually thinking about uninstalling it and downgrading it. Like, that's how much I don't like what's going on right now. It is not ideal, mi amigo. It is not. I maybe I will do that today, but I'm also trying to figure out if this is going to be the bottom. We are coming up. We're going to have an outside day potentially. We broke the high, and now we're maybe potentially breaking the low. Did you receive your $1 million payout? I did not, but my affiliate manager did finally text me back. And he's like, "Hey, if you want to talk, let me know." And I was like, "Dude, it's been months." But I don't know. I'm hoping, my hope, and maybe I'm wrong on this. This is me just hoping. I don't really have anything to base this off of. I'm hoping that Apex is just incredibly busy with the rollout of the new accounts and also the rollout of the live program, that all the payouts from Legacy just got paused for a second as they're figuring it out, because it's still not the biggest team in the world. This isn't some like behemoth of a company with hundreds and hundreds of employees. It's just not. So I'm really, really hoping that they're just like, "Hey, man, we didn't have the manpower to do legacy payouts. We paused it because we have all new evals, we have all new funded accounts, and we have a whole new live program that they're actively trying to roll out." So I'm hoping that's what's going on. But once again, that's just, maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm just being gullible. Raise your kids like Ricky Bobby's dad. If you ain't first, you last. So easy to see what a piece of shit that guy is who tries to bring someone's fucking newborn into it and insult. You should step in front of a bus and see how strong being a keyboard warrior protects you. That's fucking harsh. I like the vibe though, Wolf. It's so scorched earth of you. Dude, I mean, it's the internet. I've been through this long enough to know that keyboard warriors are keyboard warriors. I'm starting to think that you might never get the see that million. Dude, I hope it doesn't go that way. If I can maybe, dude, look at this. This is statistically rare. It is on less than, I want to say 7% of days that you take out on the S&P 500, the previous day's high and the previous day's low, taking out both. So what alpha features are the ones to go for? Premium. Premium, standard or no activation fees, up to you. No activation fee is more costly at first, but then there's no activation fee. So if you pass on your first time, you're better off. Standard is cheaper at first, but then if you take multiple tries, you're good, but then there is an activation fee. But regardless, pick the account size you want. The key thing is premium. They have zero, they have premium, they have advanced. I think premium is actually some of the most gracious rule sets right now in prop trading that you could possibly consider. And if you don't believe me, try it out. You could get that fat 40% off, but premium is the main thing, and then trade the account size that you normally like. I don't find there to be much of a difference between standard and no activation fee. It's more of how lucky are you with passing the test? Are you going to be degenerate about it, or are you trading your actual system? If you're trading your actual system, probably go no activation fee. If you're going to be degenerate about it, standard might save you a couple buckaroos, but in reality, they're not that different. Like I said, so premium's the main thing. Standard versus no activation. No activation if you're being like trading your actual system. Standard more if you're being degenerate. And then from there, just the account size that you like. Percents closing as longs. Dude, 550. Are we going to this overnight low? Are we full tripping it? We full tripped IB, and now we might be full tripping the overnight session from 844. Wow. The low here was 337. Look at options flow. It's just getting lit. Right past 10. Someone waited for the new hour and they said, "Get me out of here. Get me." There was a flow alert that didn't. Right here at 10:30, there was a flow alert, which I would have thought would have spun this game around, but apparently not. We did go lower, and options flow went lower too. This is for the S&P 500. Mag 7 was looking great till 10:10. So what's going on in the market? At 10:10, huge amount of selling in the Mag 7. The combination of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla. Like I said, boom, straight down. And it's call selling and put buying. At first, it was just call selling, longer duration call selling. But especially since 1042, the amount of put buying is accelerating. So simultaneously, this is why it's so bad, is we're seeing the double doozy effect. That is trademark. Don't try to steal that. Well, actually, if you want to use it in your life, feel free to do it. But anyway, the double doozy effect of selling calls, removing positive gamma, and buying puts, adding negative gamma. If you're removing positive and adding negative, you get 2x the rate of dropping, which is exactly what you are seeing from 1010 until now. And actually, it's at 1055 is the first time today that we're seeing a little bit of a breather, a little bit of flattening. So maybe that's the end of it. This is a giant sell program that took almost a full hour to play out. Looking at the NASDAQ, pretty much trending down. Same thing at 1010, we had a pop. And ever since then, from then until now, the delta is just down, down, down. Looking at the Russell, it popped up until 955. From then until now, just down. AMD kind of flat. Apple up and then back down. Avago kind of flat. Microsoft flat, then down. Meta down and now down worse. Netflix popped and now down. Nvidia down. Palantir down. Tesla popped flat, giving a little bit of it back, but buyers are stepping in at this moment. Oracle looks messy. Google straight down. SpaceX down, now flat. Some buyers decided to step in at 550. They're trying to protect that 50-point rung. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. We're going to see. Does this have anything to do with the yen stuff on Twitter? I did not read any yen stuff, and I find that a lot of the times right now, people are over dramatizing this impact of the yen carry trade. Maybe some traders are trading off of it, but when's the last time you heard someone like actually trading because of movement with like the yen? I think a lot of people like to cite it for reasoning, and yet I'm not running into any traders who are like, no, I'm actively trading because I track the yen. So maybe, but once again, explaining why something happening, it's not really the point, because you don't get extra bonus points for being able to explain it properly. You get points for being long and it going up and being short and it going down. And really, I would say your extra points are, did you have good risk management? To be able to explain why someone's choosing to buy or sell right now, it could be a gazillion examples. It could be someone rebalancing for the 4th of July. It could be someone rebalancing because of quad witching. It could be, I don't know, someone at a hedge fund with insider information. Maybe you have a bunch of bond traders who are trying to digest what War said last week, and they're trying to set up for the remainder of the year for that. There's so many reasons of why people might be hitting the buy or the sell button right now that to assign it to one specific reason, you're just never going to be able to do it, because we don't all trade because of the same reasons. Many different traders trade for many different reasons. So because that is an axiom of trading, to be able to always try to ascribe it to one reason, are people getting margin called? Are they just funding a new account? Is it in options? Is it in future? Like it's just, the list goes on and on and on and on and on, that I don't think it's going to be that helpful to try to like summarize it as one specific thing. Are we going to get the 11 a.m. full day reversal? Here we are, 11 a.m., June 22nd. Market is in a sea of red. Dare I say it, a bloodbath. But one bold streamer, one unhinged, untethered retail trader is before you, calling out a potential 11 a.m. full day reversal, the old Kansas City shuffle. We start out bullish. We go extremely bearish. Everyone starts chasing it to the downside just for it to be a trap. Well, folks, stay tuned. Will this recovery of a lifetime actually play out today? That's the golden question. If I had a crystal ball, I would ask it. Alas, I do not have a crystal ball, so I have no idea. But I can tell you that VWAP is at 725 for session VWAP. RTH VWAP is up here at 790. So those are interesting points of equilibrium. If you took this breakout trade at 11, that's a 100-point trade all the way up to VWAP. That's pretty nice. It's finally balancing. Oh, that's SpaceX. Sorry, I got confused with SPX. A little bit of life. A little. We're seeing something. It's not extreme selling anymore. Even the Mag 7. This might have been a 1 hour program and it stopped. It ran perfectly from 10:10 to 10:50, 55. So it was a 45-minute program, like almost exactly. This tells me why it's an automated system. Literally at 10:10, you can see the pivot. At 10:55, you can see it stop. This was a 45-minute program. It's so perfect to the time, it's almost as if it's an algorithm. Some human out there coded the program to do all this rebalancing, and it took place over exactly 45 minutes. Exactly 45 minutes, which is what's telling me that it was some sort of program out there that had a lot of money behind it. It started at 10:10, perfectly at the minute, as if a human programmed it. It ended right there at 10:55, perfectly 45 minutes, as if a human programmed it, probably because a fucking human programmed it. And if you want more proof, look how perfect it is. Look at this call selling. Like it's so insanely perfect of the unloading that I would bet a lot of money that was just one big sell program that's now done. It's over. It ran. Now, could they choose to run another one? Yeah, but at a certain point, you have to wonder how much money do they really have behind it. But just to kind of, this stuff happens in real time, and we're kind of seeing it in real time. And it was specific to the Mag 7. So it was either one or some combination of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla. And actually, we can figure it out. Apple, Amazon, Google, Apple, no. Amazon, don't have it. Or I don't have it yet. Amazon, kind of. You can see it right there. That was a little bit earlier, Amazon getting hit. So it seems like Amazon's in the mix. Google, very much in the mix, evidently in the mix. So Amazon, Google, yeah, they're clearly part of this. Microsoft, a little bit of a part of it. Meta, a little bit of a part of it. Tesla, not a part of it. NVIDIA, a little bit of a part of it. So this seems to clearly be a combination of some of these names, but it seems to be the real parties being led down by Google. So Google, ever since market open, has been not at all, like no buyers in sight. So if you want to know what's happening, if you're trying to do a deeper dive into it, maybe look up the news on Google, because Google is a clear culprit. I mean, it's down negative 715 million in this Delta movement. That's a big move for an individual equity. A big move for an individual equity. Can you imagine the money it takes to manipulate the market to your desire? That's crazy. Well, it's not manipulating, it's trading. Like that's what they wanted to do. They chose to roll some large position. Like that. This is a pet peeve of mine, and I know it's a really small gripe, and maybe it's my type of autism, but people love to say manipulate at like every time you trade, you're manipulating the market because it has an impact in the market. If you trade a lot with big size, your impact is going to be more seen. So like, I think a lot of people use manipulate as if like that is like a nefarious thing of like, oh, no. This person on Google is manipulating the market, as in that shouldn't be legal. What if someone's just selling a bunch of Google? They saw news and they don't want to be in that. It's not illegal. They just happen to be selling a huge chunk of Google. It's breaking down and it's dragging the other things with it. So circling back to the other part of your statement of like, oh, imagine the size. Yeah, like clearly it's that's the movement of billions of dollars. So I get that. And you are 100% right on that. Like, oh, wow, it's kind of impressive to see that like someone of that size is doing something. But once again, be careful with the word manipulate. It's just them trading. Whether you're buying or selling a small or large amount of Google, that is not necessarily illegal. And when people use the term manipulate, it makes it sound as if it is illegal. Now, they might be doing something that is illegal. Maybe it's insider information. Maybe the way they're executing it. Maybe it's a player that owns too much or too little of Google, and maybe they should have had proper filing, blah, blah, blah. There are ways, obviously, that it could be illegal. I'm not saying that it's 100% above board. My point is, it's just because you're seeing a large trade, that doesn't inherently mean it's manipulation. It doesn't inherently mean that it's illegal. Large traders are allowed to trade. They're allowed to do what they want the way smaller traders like us can do what we want. Like I said before, if you want to buy or sell a small amount, great. That's probably legal. Same thing with a large amount. If you want to buy or sell a large amount, it's probably legal. But to the other part, imagine the amount of money. Billions of dollars is the answer. Billions of notional dollars to do that kind of move. It is sizable. And it's kind of cool to see it. I mean, it's really fun if you're on the side of it. Look, it's just getting destroyed. This is clearly systematic. This is right here. You can see it in the Mag 7. It started at 1010. It stopped at 1055. And now you're just seeing the fallout from that. These are probably other traders now. But boom, 1010 to 1055. There's a 45-minute program that just nailed the market. And now we're going to see what's going on from here. How are they manipulating SpaceX? It's like the 4 million shorts just appeared. Well, it just started trading, so that's when shorts can happen, is when you figure out the loan system, and then shorts are allowed to take it on loan, and then they're allowed to go short. And also, no accurate short numbers are reported yet because there's always a lag. Remember that with shorts. So literally, by definition, for how long SpaceX has been trading, it hasn't been trading for long enough for us to get the legal, legitimate reports. So any number you're seeing about SpaceX shorts right now is best estimations from whatever platform that you're on. But it is not cold, hard fact numbers. It is not. It is not. It is best estimations from whatever, like I said, whatever time frame you are on. And let me fix something. The code for the alpha is not Goonie 40. It is Goonie, just Goonie. I saw that someone said that they had a little bit of an issue and there was some miscommunication between me and the company. At one point this weekend, it was Goonie 40, but now it's Goonie. So if you want the 40% off, it is not Goonie 40. It's just the normal Goonie. Just the normal Goonie. Did the Rumble stream go down? No, all you have to do is reload the page. All you have to do is reload the page. SMCI looking good. Tesla bouncing back. Intel actually up 5%. Intel's looking good. So the overall market's getting rocked, but there are individual plays looking good. Intel's looking good. Tesla's looking good. Micron's looking good. I'm not saying it's a smorgasbord of bullish opportunity, but maybe you're bearish and you're looking for more bearish opportunity. If you're looking for bullish opportunity, look at Intel, look at Micron, look at Tesla. If you're looking for bearish opportunity, look at Google, look at HUT, look at what's a clear big mover. SanDisk is up 7. Meta, look at Microsoft. Right now, there's a good spread. If you happen to be bullish, you can find those trades. If you happen to be bearish, you can find those trades. Vortex in the AMC days, LOL. Everyone was all knowing about shorts. Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation. Lot of misinformation in those days. Actually, still today. Like, did you guys know that there's still an entire cohort of people specifically on Twitter and Reddit that still think AMC is going to squeeze back to another new all-time high? It's just people literally stuck in 2021. They're stuck 5 years ago. They've now pissed away half a decade of their life thinking that their trade's going to come back. Think about how much the stock market itself has gone up in the past 5 years. If they just bought the S&P 500, they would be exponentially. Dude, if they took all the cash they put into AMC and put it under their mattress, they would be better off. No less just buying the overall market. There has to be a name in psychology for that. It's such a crazy event where people just this concept of overstaying your welcome, and it's greedy, but it's this insane uninformed greed. But I guess I don't want to spend too much dwelling on it. But with AMC, the people who are left over in the AMC trade, to this day in 2026, I actually think they should be studied because they are some of the dumbest fucking people in this entire world. Something about the mindset, the psychology, they're so deep into this conspiracy of what's going on that they literally cannot see the reality in front of them. Their brains are broken. I actually deeply believe every single person to this day, still in AMC, still thinking it's going to squeeze, they should all donate their brain to science because we need to figure out what went so incredibly wrong and we need to fix it in the future. They are some of the dumbest fucking human beings on this entire planet. It's actually really, really fucking scary. The ICT people are really, really stupid, but not this stupid. The AMC people are way, way worse. Way, way worse. Obviously, the ICT people are uniquely dumb in their own right. but it could be much worse. I think it's more of a trauma at this point. It's something. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm not. I don't know much about psychology, sociology, or anything like that. So someone with a better knowledge of this like particular realm, they need to study it. They need to study it because they're stunted. They're stunted and they're frozen in the year 2021, and they just cannot look reality in the face. They cannot. I mean, what goes on with people where objective reality is presented to them and they're like, nah, dude, nah, that's just nah. Like, what is happening? Maybe I picked the wrong profession. Remember before when I said it's not this bar that matters, it's the next bar? Look at, we're still hanging out at the 30-minute 50 EMA. It's at 675. I want to know, are we breaking out or are we breaking down? Is this the fake out bar? Because, yeah, you could always tap it. The issue is, do we bounce from here or are we actually breaking down? So for me, and obviously this would be backed by math that I've had my little AI slave do, is do we break and hold 762 or do we break and hold below 545? Those are very, very important levels to me, literally just backed from the math. And obviously in the meantime, watch 675. So I know that's a large range. It just happens to be that we have a large range day. But for me, I want to know, does NQ, are we breaking down? Is this a true shift of trend from bullish to bearish? Or is this a little fake out? We dip and we go and the bulls are still in control. And objectively, you can do the same analysis with ES, which is the futures market for the S&P 500. Same thing right here. Are we going? Are we going back above 562? Are we going to recover 556? Okay, is this a little fake out? We are obviously bullish, but here's a little bit of a dip. Is this a dip to be bought? Or is it a real shift of trend? And we would probably, the math would be a little bit more confident about it being a shift of trend if we take out the intraday low, especially if we hang out below the intraday low, looking at 7527. 7527. All right, let me get this back up here. So I have a couple alerts set. The movement in the markets really calmed down, like really calmed down. We had straight selling. Holy shit. Well, that's probably not useless or useful to anyone. Let's get rid of all this stuff because that almost made me shit my pants. So we broke here at 10:15. The sell program started right here at 10:10. So we started at 10:10. The impact of it felt within 1 minute, and then it stopped at 10:55. It was a 45-minute program. We saw a bounce. We saw a pullback. Now we're seeing consolidation. We do have lower highs and higher lows, which, remember, from a structure argument, is the definition of consolidation. It has to be. If you have lower highs and higher lows for whatever time frame you're on, that is consolidation. So we just have to wait. If you're trying to play it in one direction or the other, if you're still short, obviously you're looking for the breakdown. If it breaks out, you better get out. If you're looking for a trade, maybe you just want to be patient and wait to see which way it actually breaks. Obviously, I'm looking at this EMA cloud to see if it flips back over. There might be a play all the way back up to VWAP, which is either 722 or 776, depending on the VWAP you care about. The point of control, no, that's not the point of control. That's the IB low is 743. So you have opportunity up here for the bullish target. Obviously, the bearish target would not just be the intraday low, but a capitulation from there. So the bulls have a shot. The bears have a shot. As I said, I'm very, very surprised the market didn't fight better at 7,500 flat. And because of the lack of fight there, I don't have the math to back this up. I just always want to be clear of the thing I'm saying. Is it backed up by math or is it just like kind of gut feel from watching the market? The lack of battle here makes me feel like it's pretty likely we retest this. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to happen at all? Whatever. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't have any unique odds to tell you. The unique odds I have to tell you, the fact that we took out the previous trading session, i.e. Thursday's high and low, that's statistically rare. It happens less than 7% of trading days where you take out the previous trading session's high and low. Obviously, that's referred to as an engulfing bar, taking out the previous trading bar's extremes. They just don't happen that often. So whatever's going on today is statistically a little bit of a rare day. And it makes sense when you see what the hell happened to the Mag 7, specifically what happened to Google. Google is the culprit if you're curious why things are red. But remember, don't get your panties in a twist. this level, if you're like, oh my God, this sell off so bad, we were at this level on Thursday, like literally the most recent trading session, we were at this level. So let's not freak out about it. And percentage wise, SPY is down. It's not down 2.8%. It's down 0.28%. The Qs aren't down 4%. They're down 0.4%. We're not even in the realm of 0.5%. So let's, I guess, calm, cool, collected. Let's not freak out and act as if this is some sort of like cataclysmic sell-off. There's a very, like, it's totally possible that whatever's happening in Google stops, the market sell-off pauses, people buy it back, and we end up just stalling out at 7,500. Like we bounce right back to 7,500, and that's it for the day. In fact, I actually would think that particular play out at some point soon, we see the bottom, it bounces back to 7,500, and we close around the day. I actually think that is a very likely pathway from here. Is it a guarantee? No, you can't guarantee shit in the market. But just playing odds, I would think that that's a very decent chance play out for the remainder of the day. But Google is getting smashed. If you're still, well, I'm invested in Google, so I don't think this is a reason to stop an investment. But if you're actively trading Google to the bullish side, I mean, it swept this low, we cracked. Like, what are you still doing in the play? Micron, Hut, fake out on Hut. That sucks. Intel's looking good. I like that. Marvel, looking a little weak on me. NVIDIA, hopefully that can get going. SpaceX, murked. What a good trade at 195. How's this play? The pump and dump play down 16%, dude. The amount of money I could have made on this thing. Look at that movement, though. Nice short at 710. Risk $8. Money. I don't even know what this is. It's just an obvious, like, retail pump and dump play. All right, folks. Well, before I let you go, here's how I've done on the day. At one point, unrealized, I was up 1,600. My highs realized was 800. Obviously, I traded one more time and gave a little bit back, but thus far, still green on the day. If I see the bull step in and maybe it sets up for a nice afternoon reversal, I might take advantage of it, or I might just stay green on the day and just call it right here, especially because it's the first day of my new funded accounts at TPT. Speaking of which, as we're talking about futures, this is a 48-hour flash sale on alpha futures. It's today and tomorrow only, and you can only have 3 accounts because it's just a gigantic discount. So use that code Goonie to get in, full in. Like, I'm talking from nowhere to actually trading a funded account. You can now be in on a 50K account for sub $100, which means today and tomorrow it is probably going to be the best deal across the trusted sim to fund firms. So just wanted to shout that out. Alpha, 3 accounts only, code Goonie, Goonie, today and tomorrow only. Recommend you guys check that out. We are getting to that midday grindy chop crap. So I find most of my really good trades are in the morning and sometimes they're in the afternoon, but no matter how I do it, midday trading is generally not good for me. So I'm going to just give this a breather and see how things play out. We're going to be posting content today and obviously streaming once again tomorrow. I hope to see you there. If you're watching on Rumble or on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps me out. We're trying to let the world know that we are, in fact, back from paternity leave. A lot of people think I just quit and I'm gone and I'm never returning. But if you guys can help me out with the algorithm, like, retweet, all that stuff, it is super, super helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. But for those of you this morning, I hope you caught that bullish move. For those of you, I guess, post 1010, I hope you caught the bearish move. Regardless of how you played it, I hope you made a buttload of money today. And hey, I hope there's even more money in your short-term future. That's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.